各位南洋商报的观众朋友们，大家好，我是天华。那今天看到我这身奇装异服的打扮，就知道我们要讨论的课题呢是来自远方的国度，那就是神秘的不丹。我们都知道，不丹呢是非常的依赖旅游业的。那在疫情的这将近2年的时间里头，究竟不丹的经济和这一个人民呢是如何度过的？而在为了重新开放解禁之后，不丹又会端出哪些旅游政策来吸引马来西亚的游客过去呢？今天我们就非常高兴，也非常荣幸的能够邀请到远自这一个不丹的旅游局总监 Mr. Doji Draju 呢，来为我们进行分享，并从中了解一下究竟不丹在这过去发生了什么样的一个变化，而未来为何不丹又是马来西亚人应该要去的一个地方。
南洋商报，大家好 ，Malaysia 大家好 ，I'm Doji Draju, Tourism Council of Bhutan, and thank you so much, Mr. Lai, for having me on this show and giving me this opportunity to talk about my country. Thank you.
不知张多啦 ，Mr. Doji Draju。那好不好跟我们分享一下，就是为何不丹会是我们在重新解放过后最值得去的一个地方呢？
First and foremost is our the natural setting here. We are located in this highly pristine Himalayan range where the nature is still in its original, almost like its original form state. The moment, in fact, the tourists are saying this. Maybe you will also agree since you have been here. I don't know, but most of the tourists that I met, they are saying the moment they land in Paro Airport, our international airport, and then they come out of the plane and start breathing in our Bhutanese air, they feel something very different.
It is.
You know, and then the moment they step on our land, start drinking our water, they feel very different. So there's some kind of something special about Bhutan, I would say. Something that is very positive, something that is spiritual, something that is, you feel totally out of this world kind of thing. So that is something which we cannot describe properly, but for that somebody has to come here and experience, like yourself. I think you have come here and experienced that feeling. That is the kind of abstract thing, but in a more kind of a tangible thing, we have this unique tourism policy of high value, low volume. So which has been in place for last 50 years. And again, this is a gift from our Majesty, our 4th King. We are presently under the golden reign of 5th King. So tourism started during our 4th King in 1974, coinciding with the coronation of our 4th King. So that time, from the day one, the tourism policy was envisioned by His Majesty as a high value, low volume. Now, what we mean by high value, low volume, in a very plain, simple words today is sustainable tourism. We want to host tourists to that number that which we can manage properly, because we have to make sure that whatever tourists coming, we should be able to give our best services. But we cannot let anybody come to Bhutan. I mean, as normally I say, Bhutan is a special place. It's a small country, small population. We cannot be overrun by tourists. We cannot have a so-called the mass tourism. I mean, it is not good for our country, not good for the world, not good for even for the guests. Guests who come here, they have to feel exclusive. They have to feel, okay, I've come to Bhutan, it's different. There's no crowding. There's nothing, They have to feel they come here for a very nice vacation, no? So that we want to ensure through our tourism policy. And the other thing is, of course, the culture. Of course, again, all countries have their own unique culture. But Bhutan, again, maybe you will agree or you will disagree. You can disagree if you want. But what I like to say is our culture, which is coming from 400 to 500 years, is living today. For example, thank you very much for you wearing our go. You're also wearing our national go. Thank you so much. But in Bhutan, everybody wears this. And this is not a new costume. It was there since last 400-500 years. And we are still living here, as you can attest to this. Everybody in Bhutan, we wear this. Similarly, for a woman, we have a different dress. So likewise, there are so many cultural elements which were there since the last 500 years, it is still very much alive here. So it is almost like a living museum for culture and tradition. So these are some of the unique points I would say. But most importantly, it is the clean air, the clean water, the the pristine nature, and people in general, I would say, are kind of a spiritual in nature. We are going to improve our services, starting from visa processing to any other services. We want to digitize this, make it online as much as possible. As of now, even the payment gateways are not so convenient, not so efficient. We also want to improve the international payment gateway. Also, once tourists are in the country, they should be also able to use very easily their credit cards and all. So these are something that we are trying to improve. So overall, we are trying to make our services in the tourism as easy, as efficient, as effective as possible.
Katinchela Achudoji Draju，那好不好也跟我们分享一下，就是说，一般上我们总是听闻不丹它每年都有游客的限制量哦，到底是不是真的有这回事呢？
Thank you very much. I mean, this is a very important question which we need to clarify. So this question is not asked only by foreigners, for the prospective tourists, even by our Bhutanese. Our Bhutanese also feel that when we say low volume means there is a fixed number. Okay, in Bhutan, after 50,000, for example, no tourists can come. I mean, it's not like that. So the number low volume, basically how we define is the number will be decided by the government, if necessary, to match with the services that we can provide. That we don't want our infrastructure, our tourism sites and all to be overcrowded. So as long as that number is there, I mean, that situation is there, we will not restrict the number. So therefore, like in 2019, just before COVID, we had around 300,000 tourists, 300,000 in 2019. So there was no restriction. Yeah, because as of now, most outsiders, they think getting visa to Bhutan is very difficult. They think like that, most of them. And that is kind of, in a way, discouraging people to come to Bhutan. They don't want to even try. So that we want to clarify. Actually, it is not. Like, if you are, the only condition is you have to identify a local tour operator in Bhutan. And then once you are contacted this, then this local tour operator is going to do everything for the tourists, starting from processing your visa and all. So therefore, visa processing, getting approval for visa is not difficult, as some people tend to think.
好的，明白。那阿朱多吉，我们也知道说，大家非常关注的就是这一个签证的费用以及旅游配套的费用，会不会在为了吸引更多游客到访不丹的时候，而做出一些价格上的调整呢？
That's an important question you asked. That time also I forgot to, I skipped this. This is something that the government will decide. But my view would be, this is my view. My view as the Director General of Tourism, and considering all the tourism policy and the vision and the situation globally, I feel it should not be reduced.
Oh,
I think it should be, it should not be reduced. It should be maintained. I mean, that should be our attraction point. That should be our attraction point, unique point.
Luckily, it's not increased.
As of now, it's not increased, but I don't think it should be reduced. I mean, as I said, this is my view. Maybe government will decide something else. But as of now, there is no discussion on this. But my strong view is it should not be reduced. We should not make an exception. I mean, like some other destination we see, they are waiving off the visa, visa fees and all, some other fees. But I feel we should not be doing this, because our uniqueness is this MDPR. They have to pay something in advance. And if we reduce this, or if we lift this, then Bhutan is like any other destination. But otherwise, we have not increased this rate for last 10 to 15 years. It has been at the same rate. Rest in the economy, everything has increased the rate, except for tourism. This same rate, 200 or 250, has remained the same for the last 15 years. So in fact, it is a high time to increase actually now, because everything else has increased.
阿朱多吉， 那我们都知道，这个不丹是一个非常文明的佛教国家，但相对于马来西亚这个以非佛教徒为重要比例的这个国家来说，不丹又打算如何来吸引马来西亚游客过去到访的呢？
Yeah, so from Malaysia, what I understand is most of you all are, I mean, from Chinese background, so Mandarin. So I think in last couple of years, we have also taken into consideration some like Chinese food have been already made available. We have a couple of Chinese restaurants here. I'm not so sure the authenticity of the food as such, but at least we are making attempt to cater to our Chinese origin kind of tourists, because food is a very important aspect of the whole experience of a guest. I think they have to be happy with what they eat. So that is one thing we are trying to consider, maybe further improve in that sector. And also, basically, post-COVID, we are also trying to now take advantage of the global trend. The wellness tourism is actually growing as a sector, wellness. So post-COVID also, everybody wants to feel safe. Everybody wants to be healthy, even when on travel. So that's something that Bhutan wants to offer. We are already working in a small way towards developing our wellness tourism. So we want to attract our tourists by saying that if you come to Bhutan, we will ensure that you are physically also you are safe from the various kind of ailments, and also mentally also wellness is not just physical, even your mental thing. So even in that area also we are trying to offer some services, products, like for instance maybe some sessions on spiritualism, meditation, yoga, traditional medicine. So these are some of the things that we are already working, and we are also thinking that we also want to promote the trekking, going into the wilderness, which is again part of this wellness and well-being. So these are some of the things that we have in pipeline, but not just specifically to our friends from Malaysia also, but in general, we want to promote Bhutan as a destination for wellness and well-being.
好的，今天我们非常高兴，也非常荣幸的能够邀请到远自不丹的旅游局总监 Doji Dradu 先生为我们进行这场岳阳分享。而值得一提的是，今天的分享呢，也是不丹旅游局首次接受马来西亚媒体的访问。Kadinchela Achu Doji Dradu Kadinchela。那作为节目的最后，我们也有请 Doji Dradu 先生为马来西亚的朋友说几句话。我们有请。
How I came to remember Malaysia is from this tourism ad, Malaysia Truly Asia. That seems to be really kind of popular and something that I also personally feel a great way of promoting a nation. So in fact, we are following something similar in that line. So that's something that I really wanted to share with our brothers and sisters in Malaysia. So in terms of tourism promotion, I think you have done very well. And also I like to take this opportunity in welcoming our friends from Malaysia post-COVID, and we will try our best to make your experience here as pleasant, as memorable, as happy as possible, especially after the long spell of this COVID-19. Bhutan can be that perfect place to get away from all these big cities, the busy, the crowding. We still have this kind of a very pristine, the spiritual, the peaceful state of affairs here. So that's something we have, and I honestly, sincerely like to welcome and invite you all to our country. And similarly from Bhutan side also, we will, I think some people have been already traveling to Malaysia. So it has to be two ways. So we will also try to promote Malaysia as a destination for Bhutan. Terima kasih Malaysia, terima kasih Nang Yang Sang Tau.